Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing okay. We managed to start a stream without my face cam being on and showing you my gormless face. We are going to do a paint review today, and it's going to be a hasty one because I have dad duties in about 30 minutes. But I was so excited that I got through. Speaking of gormless face cams, I was so excited, hey everyone, that today I got through a much anticipated paint set of the Vallejo liquid metals. So we've got some silver to try out, some copper, some old gold, and some standard gold. Had to do a bit of a hasty priming job on an assault intercessor because I'd primed them in Macragge blue and I didn't think we'd get the best result from painting it over. So I went ahead and used my army painter brush on primer. So fairly embarrassed by it, but needs must. So let's switch over to the POV cam. You can see we got a couple more doodles there in the background, as well as this mysterious box, which I'll be going into if I have time today. If not, definitely next stream, I'll be telling you about the awesome product and awesome people involved with it. So, first of all, we're going to try the silver. This is my first time using alcohol based paints. So, I'm in a well ventilated room, which is one thing, and I'm in my garage, if you can't tell. And I have the garage door about halfway open. Couple reasons. It is super warm in here with these brand new LED lights on, and also because we're using this alcohol-based paint, you can smell the fumes. I wouldn't advise sticking your nose straight into there like your presenter did, because it will smack you like white spirits. Unless you like huffing paint, and you know what? No judgment here. Sometimes you just need to fill up a bag with paint and knock yourself out like Charlie from It's Always Sunny. So I'm not going to use the wet palette here because I'm afraid about what it might do to the sponge itself. But we've loaded up our brush here. We're using a backup brush because I don't know what it might do to the bristles. But oh my gosh, that has to be the most reflective bright silver I have seen so far in my 3 years of painting. It applies super smoothly, and it looks like it's just like a one application job, but we'll try that out after it dries. But we're just gonna do his left shin here in this silver, and why not do the foot as well? Let's go crazy. So far, colored me impressed, especially with the silver. I would definitely be using this with my Stormcast rather than the Stormfang silver I was using from Citadel. If you guys can see that, look at it reflecting off the light there. That is crazy to me. I did not expect that result, which now has made me pretty excited to try out the next one. I tell you what, we're gonna go for the gold. I like gold. If you remember, if you're old enough to be around for Austin Powers Gold member, one of the best. And then what happened to Mike Myers? He kind of just went a little crazy. I heard he has a dude that follows him around with a box of chocolates, and he clicks his fingers, and this dude is to pop a chocolate in his mouth. So whenever you think you are doing bad at life, just remember you're not Mike Myers. This is Chocolate Popper. So this is the liquid gold here. We're going to give it a good old fashioned shake up to make sure it's mixed really well. And then we are going to do his right leg in this. And the silver set the bar. Sorry, because it's alcohol based. It's a safety bottle, so push down and turn. Okay, so let's load up our brush here. And let's attack that right greave. Oh wow. Once again, for a light gold. I'm much more of a fan of the darker golds, but man, for characters or I don't. Yeah, this is amazing. This applies so nicely, and it's just such a pure gold. I'm glad I've got the door. I'm glad I've got the garage door open because you can smell the fumes still. But it applies so well, and it's such a nice gold. It's sad to be excited about new paints, but that's what we're in the hobby for. And this was not expensive. For the 4 bottles, it was about $30. And if you look at that, I mean, if you're painting Sanguinary, I would advise this gold over anything else that I've used before. So Scott, the manager at Mythic in Monterey, FLGS, is a stalwart Blood Angels fan, and he is a big fan of the Sanguinary Guard, and I have a feeling that we're going to see some Primarisized ones fairly soon based on the Death Company box that's coming out. I would be shocked if we don't see some kind of Sanguinary Guard box with the Sanguinal being Primarisized and being brought back. One thing to note is I do think to properly wash these brushes, you're going to need some form of cleaning alcohol. Because I've used water and I've used the soap. I don't know if you can see, we've still got some gold left on there and a little bit of silver, so luckily that's why I used a backup brush. But hey ho, liquid copper. I'm a fan of using copper, especially on things like, I don't know if you can see here on Bastian's great hammer, if you can see the base. I painted it copper purely because there's so much gold everywhere else. I wanted some difference on there, so I like using copper in those instances. So let's give it another good shake. I hope you guys are doing well today. By the way, I had a nice day. I did some work. I did some coursework for a project management certificate that I'm working towards, and then caught up on some anime. I was perusing through Crunchyroll and found out there was a prequel to one of my favorite old school animes, Fist of the North Star. So, based in World War II, which was really interesting. So, I watched that and it was just a really nice, quote unquote mental health day. It was I just did what I liked. And I'm doing what I like now, hanging out with you guys. And then I'll do what I like by putting my child to bed as well. Oh my gosh, this is a rich copper as well. I'm such a fan of these paints. I'm kicking myself I haven't found them earlier. It means tonight in bed rather than paying attention to my wife, I'm going to be googling Vallejo paints and seeing what gems they may have in their collection. But that bronze is fantastic as well. It's gorgeous. This is the only one yet which I think you might need more than one coat on. But I can't fault it. I can't fault it. This is genuinely one of the better purchases I've made in Warhammer for a while. So let's go ahead and try and see if we can. I do have a bunch of 90% IPA, which I use for 3D printing. So I might just have to dip into that to clean up this brush, or just use this as my dedicated liquid metal brush. Now this is the one I saved to last because I'm the most excited about it. Old gold. So what I've previously been using is bear with me 1 second, is the Pro Acryl Rich Gold, which I like because it's a bit darker than Retributor, and I find it goes a lot nicer when you put a wash over it. So I'm going to be, you should see my bat wings wobble whilst I'm doing this. Come on, there we go. You knew I wanted to get in there, and it's still hulked out, and unless I just want to. There we go. Oh, almost lost some. So what's left that we can do? Let's paint this gun. We're just gonna go ham on the gun, getting this gold on there. If YouTube would have let me, Spandau Ballet would be playing right now. Okay, so maybe this one needs a bit more shaking up, or this one will need additional layers. Give me 1 second, because it looks so good inside there. It's a bit of a disappointment. Let's give it a good old maraca. You can hear the agitator in there giving it its best. Right, let's try one more time on the other side of the gun to see if that shake has helped it up at all. Okay. Not so much. This is the only disappointing one, which is, of course, the one that I was most looking forward to. But, it's still nice maybe if we did like gold highlights with it on the bronze. No, not happening. So I think, unfortunately, this is the letdown one, but I think it's just because it's going to need multiple coats. I do prefer the color to the standard gold. Oh yeah, once you get another coat on there, let it dry properly, and it looks a lot better just getting a second coat on. So this would probably be the gold that I would use or test out on my Stormcast moving forward. But the real test is gonna be how they look like with washes on. So we're gonna try out the usual washes which I use for gold, which is the Brightland Earthshade and our good old trusty Null Oil. Let's see if we can get some of this gold off this brush. No, it's stuck on there. You guys are all experienced at just thinking, Jack, you numpty, of course it's not going to come off with soap and water. It's alcohol based. But God loves a trier, so yeah, we'll have to use some IPA on that. I'll do a short content. Let's be positive. It's generating content. I'll do a short on that probably tomorrow. As T-minus 15 minutes, it's bath time, then bedtime for the girl. I mean, my daughter, not my wife. So we're going to try non-oiling the silver. Get a good amount on there. And we're just going to see how much this affects it. Oh, that really dirties it up. That takes quite a bit of the shine off it. Which, I mean, if you're going like we did yesterday, if we're going for a chainmail look, we'll add the non-oil to show the difference. But for smooth surfaces like this, I wouldn't necessarily be using it. I'd be using it on the indents, like around the toe here, inside the greave, around the kneecap. So if you can see there where it's kind of taken in and how it looks like on the smooth surfaces, I would do it to do a tarnished look, but it's so good when it's just by itself. It's kind of a sad thing to do to it. So I would save that silver for highlighting certain parts. So like the hammerhead here, or the lightning strikes down here, or his good old mask beard. But since we've done the silver, we may as well try the golds with that Reichland flesh. Let me get a good amount on here, and we'll just try the recesses down in here and see how that gets along, accenting it. We'll do make sure we get the toe in. Let's get some more on. Do the other sides. And in between the little heely bits. We'll test it on the smooth surface as well, just to, that really alters the color. I'm acting like I'm surprised. I am putting a red wash over gold, so of course it's going to alter the color. But does it alter it for the better? For me and my uses, yeah, that alters it for the better for me. It dulls it down a little bit. Like I said, if I was doing like a Sangrigard or an angelic character, like a sister's character or something, and then yeah, And now let's have a look at this C3PO gold. Oh no, this isn't C3PO gold. This is just a lighter gold. Let's put that one there. And yeah, I'm a fan of that as well. I think, especially for 40k, you're going to want it tarnished a little bit. And for line troops, for AOS, you're probably going to want to do the same. And finally, let's just, for funsies, check out the wow. Okay, yeah, that really accentuates the red on that and gives it a much more worn look. I think that'd be great for like Gene Stealer Cult buggies and just rusted metal effects. I think that would come across fantastic. For my uses, say for highlighting metal bits on weapons, I probably wouldn't do the shade on there because I'd want it to be as kind of like as resplendent as possible, because they are potentially wielding like a holy relic of a weapon. But there we go, very quick stream with Angus, the intercessor, just doing his thing. He took it like a trooper. But all in all, 10 out of 10 for everything, apart from the normal gold, which I would give, the old gold, which I would give 8.5 out of 10. So, I said that if we had time, we would go over something special. So, that's what we're going to do. And of course, as soon as I move it, I flop down something. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. So if I jump to my title screen really quickly. As you can see, I have 2 affiliate/sponsors at the moment, and one of them is called Tree of Tales. I came across them on Etsy and sent them some private messages for some custom items that they make. And one of the things which they make is my overhead turn itself off. I think my overhead turned itself off. Wait 1 second. We should be good. Nope. Overhead turned itself off. It's going to get fired. So we'll keep to the good old POV. So I call these gubbins, but I think they're called gaming aids if you want to be technical about them. It's a magnetic box, and what you see inside here are cool little tabs that you stick next to your units if you're like me and you completely forget what you've put on what and what has native abilities. So if you're running intercessors and you've just run off an objective, you're going to want to stick the sticky objective on that objective. If you're running a Terminator captain, you might want to put down reroll charges on there. You want to identify your oath of moment, or if you want to say, I've got devastating wounds for this unit, I'm going to put it there right next to them. So, Valejos. So if I was running Gilliman, I'd put him in there, and I would say he rerolls ones to hit. I'll stick it right next to him. And then say if I want to put something next to my here's a better one for Gilliman. If we put the Primarch or +1 OC and reroll Battle Shock, and we put reroll ones to hit for the Redemptor, it's super useful to me it is really affordable, and the guys over there are literally the nicest people that you could work with. I'm gonna put up my title screen again because it's got their URL on there. But if you just search them on Etsy as Tree of Tales, you'll see the plethora of gaming aids that they have. Also check out our friend's stream over at Tabletop Titans. They've demonstrated in their latest Orcs versus Custodes stream how they use them, and a couple of other gaming aids that they've got. So they've got a really good deployment zone marker one, which I use, and I think it's amazing. So we'll go on and say our goodbyes. Thanks very much for joining me tonight. It was a real pleasure testing out those paints. It was a real pleasure hanging out with you guys. Just remember that no matter how low you're feeling, someone out there wants you. Someone out there is going to miss you. And someone out there loves you. And you're always welcome here. You're always welcome to drop me a message either on one of the videos or on my Instagram. And if you're going through a tough time, you've got a shoulder to lean on here. And I hope that you use it. Anywho, once again, thank you to the people at Kong Vector on Fiverr and my friend Dominiel for doing all of the artwork and strikers. And I hope you all have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, if you are nice enough to check out the stream or the recording. Take it easy, guys.